So, this is a quick recap. It's not a long recap. We are going to do the long recap in the following video. This is a quick recap of what's happening with us as a, I don't know, group of individuals that we can call humanity. The main thing is that we spend so much time being animals. Us, you and me, everyone. We spent like 100,000 years being animals. Special animals, that's for sure. We started to use tools and making use of our opposable thumbs. We started doing that like 200,000 years ago. I'm gonna use 200,000 years ago as a anchor of how and when humanity dropped into this earth. Let's say we didn't drop, but when did we appear? This is 200,000 years ago, and you can think it's a lot, but really it isn't. If you compare that to whatever other species you can compare it to, that's not that much. And we've been animals. We were animals for so long. It's like, um, how do we define that? Of course, uh, so human beings are social, and we gather in small communities. As far as we know, since the beginning of time, we were never wanderers, lone wanderers. We were never that. And I'm going to talk about what we know about what we did in those years of, let's say, commencement of our identity as a species. But at some point in that process of getting above our 2 feet and going out of Africa and traveling the whole world, about 100,000 years ago, we started consuming wild grain. Grain that most probably was rice, but it's not that the rice that we know of today. We know that like 25,000 years ago, we started consuming barley and oats, and that's been found in excavations and so on. So what? We know that rice was domesticated in China about 10,000 years ago, and well, let's say it's a period of time that that happened, but there is evidence of rice being already being exploited, like a parcel, a patty of rice being harvested like 6,000 years ago. So many things changed along the way from 200,000 years ago to 6,000 years ago. Many things changed. Humans populated the whole earth. And this is the part where it gets tricky. Since we became an agricultural species, population exploded, of course. We stayed in one place. We stopped wandering around. We stopped just being nomads that were actively searching for something to eat or shelter. And we started building societies like 6,000 years ago, give or take. And from that point on, almost nothing changed. for 5,000 years. Of course, mind, ideas, and philosophy as a whole did evolve a lot. People thought of things. We discovered ways to behave socially in cities, in groups, in whatever we needed to do in those 5,000 years. We evolved in how we thought about it. This was not irrelevant at all. It was important. Not that many people knew how to read, but there were books about it. You could find it, you can find them today and read about what is it that we cared about throughout those 5,000 years. But at some point, we embarked in a really different thing. Something that we call industrial age today. That has a beginning. The industrial age is the moment where humanity discovers that via energy and mechanization we can automate different processes that were done by people prior to that. And so the output of our production processes exploded. The same way population exploded when we discovered agriculture, the same way the output of our production processes exploded when we discovered how to automate things that we did manually before. That happened around 1760. So yeah, that's what we call industrial age. And with that came a big promise. That's a not that a interesting promise, but it was a promise that was so appealing to us. Because as I said in the previous video, all of that time, all of those 195,000 years before, we were dependent on ourselves. We needed to get up, get out of the house, and get our fucking boar. This was our thing to do every day. This is what we did. It changed, of course. It's not the same 150,000 years ago as it was in the Rome of the year 100 BC. But the task at hand was the same. You need to go and get that boar. I did not realize that I was using headphones, sorry. That thing changed with industrialization because we had a promise that we don't need to depend only on ourselves. You're part of a cog system. You are a cog in the system, actually. We need you to do this. This is your role. And of course, that can be anything. Maybe you need to sharpen something. Maybe you need to put something in a box. It doesn't matter. But we had a promise for around 250 years that said, if you're willing to play ball, if you're willing to do this for us, then you don't need to worry about the boar. We'll get the boar. The boar is there. We'll get it. We'll chop it up. And we'll give you your part. We'll do it for you. Just focus on your task. Do what we need you to do. And just that. And we'll provide the rest. It is an appealing promise. I don't know of anyone who wouldn't like it. So I don't need to get out there and get the board for myself. You're gonna do it, and all I had to do is to focus and do this like in a mediocre, acceptable way, and that's that. Yeah, that's that. Okay, okay, okay. Let's do it. I don't need to think that much about it. So the only thing that happened lately is that promise is no longer valid. No one's promising that anymore. Yeah, you can get a job. Yeah, you can get specific about the task that you need to get good at. Yeah, all of those things, yes. You can follow the path that previous industrial cogs have done before you. Yes. But the promise is not there anymore. We are not gonna fulfill your every need. We are not guaranteeing the provision of boar for you. No, that's not happening. If you are willing to play ball with us, then you're getting something. That's probably money. But if it's not enough for you, then figure it out, man. Figure it out. If it's not enough for you, whatever I give you in exchange for your time and effort and focus, it's not my problem. It's yours. The promise of the industrial age ended. The the way that things worked before, where you could just focus on whatever part was yours, maybe have one promotion or two, and grow, grow with us. And in 25 years' time, we will give you a clock, not a clock, sorry, a watch. We will give you a watch. That watch will be um, pretty enough, luxurious enough, so you can wear it with pride, and you'll be on your way. This is not an innocent promise, of course. It's related to so many things. The state, the nation state would provide for your expend while you were getting old, and so and you wouldn't be poor while you were not working anymore. But we build this working culture around this promise that if you take this path and behave in this path, you're gonna get your fix in terms of bore. And that is not present anymore. Effectively, it disappeared. There is no more a bore promise. And this is the first problem. We are not like accepting that. People is not accepting that the promise is not there anymore. And whoever was promising before, companies, industries, nation states, or whatever, are pretty clear about it. This is not a promise anymore. This is not on the table anymore. You're not getting this anymore. This is quite brutal, brutally exposed in front of our faces. You're not getting a pension. You're not getting security, job security. You're not getting anything. You can come here and do your thing, and then we will pay you. But this is not your bore. This is maybe something you use to get your bore wet. We were in an ecosystem that ensured us that if we had any special enough ability and we behaved, the bore would not be a problem. That lasted 250 years. And it ended. It's just not there anymore. And because of that, we are experiencing this transition time with pain. there are many consequences to this, and I have in line. I'm watching at the list here. I have in line a couple of them to share with you, but we need to snap out of it. There is no solution to this. This same promise that if you focus on this, then you don't have to worry about anything else, mutated and took different forms. So there are many promises that offer you tranquility of mind in terms of where the fuck am I getting the boar from? We don't have that anymore. There are no more promises. We're back to pre industrial times. We need to get the boar ourselves. And that's it. The sooner you make peace with the fact that there are no more shortcuts, because this is what that was. It was a shortcut. Industrial age labor distribution was a shortcut for everyone, and it is no more. The sooner you make peace with that, maybe the sooner you would have time to focus on getting your boar every day. So, of course, this is a video related to a previous video, and the following videos will be related to every other video that comes before it. So, if you're watching this for the first time, my name is Fernando Johan. I have this channel that's called Daily Boar, where I'm sharing kind of my thoughts about this guidebook, this rule book to play in this day and age. And if you like it, and if you want to get the alerts of when this comes live, the idea is to have a daily thing. We are trying to make it happen. Maybe we can't, but you should like and subscribe. Sorry, I said it. And if you do want to share, come by. See you next time.